let's go ahead and get started. You may have seen this game before, little bits and pieces of it, but probably not this far, because no one wants to watch a speedrun of this. Now, maybe you guys are getting forced into watching it anyway, all the way through. But it was a Big 20 game most recently. It's where a lot of people found out about it, so hopefully you guys can recognize some pieces at the beginning and then can see how fun this game really gets here. So we're going to get started here in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so these first couple levels really just kind of teach you the mechanics of the game. This is like super duper simple, where you're just kind of rolling around and shooting targets. The goal of every level is to shoot all the targets, grab the key, and get out. So we shoot all the targets, we grab the key, we move on. That was just kind of letting you know, there's what you're supposed to do in this game. So this one's called Four Corners. So guess what the targets are? They're in the four corners of this rectangle. Now, I may be trivializing kind of the controls a bit here, but the people who played this game for the first couple times, they know. Really, really weird control scheme in this game. Basically, what you do is you press A to travel forward, and you press B to fire tomatoes, and you press left and right to rotate your character. So it's like you're driving a tank, really, even though we're allegedly on rollerblades running through all these puzzles. Now, if you're also opening up another tab on YouTube right now to try and look at what this game show is all about, it was nothing like this. As is the case with most NES games of its time based on TV shows and movies and other intellectual property, it is so incredibly loosely based on the product that was trying to imitate there. So that TV show was more like Fox's response to Nickelodeon's Double Dare. So there was a lot of trivia pieces, there were some obstacle course pieces. It was not simply just running through puzzles like this, but needless to say, that's what High-Tech Expressions decided to do. And there are 6 game developers that you get to see in the credits coming up. One of the the people who made this game, very, very famous NES musician, George Sanger, the Fat Man, from Team Fat, made plenty of other great soundtracks. One of the others I'm running later, as well as I believe I saw Dick Tracy on the schedule later today. He had a good bit to do with that music. Known as well for Tecmo NBA Basketball, Maniac Mansion, Total Recall. Just a lot of George Sanger bangers out there in the NES world. So glad you guys get to hear this one. And this is our first shortcut. This is where we stray away from the Big 20 run itself. And now we are effectively way past that Big 20 going into the tougher levels. No, that's not Tim Allen, but that is the meme that everyone likes to play about it. It's actually J.D. Roth, maybe even more accomplished than Tim Allen. He is the creator and producer of the TV series The Biggest Loser. That's what he's done in his Fox game show hosting days. So, quite the Wikipedia page and filmography on his end as well. But yeah, no, that's definitely one of my favorite emotes and Twitch alerts and whatnot, is trying to use JD as much as possible, because we love that guy for sure. Alright, so going through and shooting some of these targets here. The levels do get a bit more complex now that we've kind of shortcutted up the floor 4. It does use kind of like the Mario system, where it's got like, a first number to indicate how difficult the level is, and then like a certain number of stages after that. In this case here, it's based on a maximum of 12 floors and 6 levels per floor. So this is right now we're on what, 4-6, so about a third of the way through the game here. We've now completed level 4 just by shortcutting our way there. Now this is like the overall world map that you can't control on or anything like that, but it just shows you what levels you've gotten up to. So by shortcutting up to level 4, we've made it this far through this really cool obstacle course, which is by far way better than the Double Dare obstacle course, I will say that. Everything else, maybe not so great compared to Double Dare, but man, that was like, I think Nickelodeon tried to combat that afterwards with the Aggro Crag. But yeah. Alright, so this is our first level in this category, where we'll see ice physics, as well as these little yellow pachinko-style bumpers. They can really send you for a ride, and they only seem to send you in the 45-degree directions, not really the up, down, left, or right, but only diagonally. So we can abuse that sometimes, but most of the time it is just completely out of our control and going super wild. They've got pretty large hitboxes compared to how they're actually projected on the screen. So this is our first level where we'll see the skate. where you get those. I thought we were already on rollerblades, but apparently not. It makes our character go much faster for a limited time here. And then we will try to utilize as much of that as possible. The only thing that makes the skate really difficult is actually firing tomatoes. You lose a lot of your range. Now, I was always kind of under the impression that, like, if you were on a train, or maybe not a train, because the wind resistance would be great. But okay, inside a train, all right? The people inside the train traveling 70, 80 miles an hour, if they threw a tomato from inside the cabin and hit somebody else, I don't think there would be any discernible difference in the speed or the distance they'd be able to throw it. But apparently in the Funhouse universe, that's not the case. If you're skating, going much faster, and you throw the tomato, you can only throw it a few inches in front of you, because that's how you're just catching up to it. Not quite sure how they landed on that, if that was on purpose, just to be kind of a negating factor of getting the skate. They want to make sure that it's not too strong, but yeah. Alright, so this level, as you can see, aptly named Ice Fractal. There are some levels here that are aptly named, but most of them aren't. A lot of them are just seemingly non sequiturs or little slogans that seemingly don't necessarily match up in particular with that level, but some of them are, and some of them might be clues on how you actually finish it. So we're just managing our ice physics here with the tank controls, which is really awkward at times, but you typically just try to rotate 180 degrees and then accelerate in the opposite direction to kind of negate your speed. There's not really any brakes or anything, so takes a little bit of getting used to at first, but you know, when it does work out, it's very satisfying to land some of these controls the right way. Alright, so corporate ladders. Okay, I'm guessing that the staircase of conveyor belts is supposed to be then. Oh man, we missed one. It's alright. We'll snipe it out of here eventually. There we go. Good enough. Those things look like water, but they're, according to the manual, supposed to be conveyor belts, which is probably far safer than, you know, rollerblading in a river or something like that. But yeah, so we'll just go through here and take them all out sequentially. The number ones can be a little bit brutal, though, because you don't get to choose your routing, or you don't really get to audible if something goes wrong. You're stuck kind of doing whatever order they tell you to do it in. Sometimes if you miss one, that can be really, really rough. Alright, here we go to up and down. Guess which directions we're going, guys. So hop all the way over here. This level, obviously really simple. There's nothing really crazy going on, but if you didn't know that 1 and 3 were over in that section, and you went up this section at first, you'd be really cutting it close on time. But they weren't super punishing if they put one of these giant clocks up here. I'm not trying to hit that. In fact, I was trying to avoid it because, as you guys see at the end of the level, they tick all the time away, and it does, you know, add a few frames to it there. So if you can avoid the clock, that's less time that has to tick off when you finish the level. But we try to aggressively cut those corners, but maintaining full speed as best we can. This is one of those levels where even if everything goes right and absolutely perfect, it's like you saved like a 1/10 of a second, maybe. So yes, Rad Gravity, also George Sanger. Also Defenders of Dynatron City, another George Sanger game. The one that doesn't really fit his catalog that I've noticed is what's the one? Home Alone. I don't know if that was a, hey, we want to have all these cool sound effects built in for all the pranks and whatnot, and this is the rest of the sound palette that you get to work with. But you don't get any of those kind of vibes at all from Home Alone, even though he is the main composer on that. Caesar's Palace, I believe he collaborated with David Warhol on as well, so yeah, he's got definitely a distinct sound. The Rocketeer, another one. I'll tell you what, though, he's there's a lot of games even after his NES days that he was a part of that kind of had that vibe to it, but yeah, a good beat for sure. All right, so that was counterclockwise for, you know, the level that went counterclockwise. We're done floor 5. I know what you're thinking, man. That's, wow, we're not even halfway done. The puzzles are allegedly going to get tougher. That's why there's 30 minutes here. Don't worry, we got 2 more shortcuts coming up. We're going to jump from level 6 to 9-1 shortly, and then in the middle of level 9, we're going to jump to 12-1. So, world record for this game hasn't really moved for the last couple years, but there is some new tech on the last level. There just hasn't been a whole lot of grinding on it yet. Hoping to do that soon. It's on my short list of things to do, but the things that are in front of it are really, really important. So we're taking care of those first. Those other speedrunning goals here. This game has been running, like I said, in the Big 20, but also a couple big NES runners in the past have times recorded for this. Author Blues and Smartball are both former world record holders of this game. Quite a bit before my speedrunning days, but man, I wish I would have caught those streams when they were happening live. I would have loved some of those live reactions of them just getting frustrated by the game. Of course, I can go back and see their personal bests and their former world record times now, but those aren't always the fun ones. The fun ones are the days when things don't always go well, so especially with those guys. I thank them for bringing some eyeballs to it at first. Yeah, so this game I actually played a bit in my childhood, so that's kind of where I've come from with this. This level binary system, however, definitely one of those levels where you kind of, if you're playing this game for the first time and didn't have a guide or had a video to watch, you're just losing a life to it. Like, it's all the pieces are kind of scattered and put all over the random place, and if you don't know to look down here exactly for the 7 or to go over there exactly for where the 6 is, you're spending 10 to 20 seconds exploring the level every single time. And we have the swag clock spawn there that we're not going to take. And then they hide 9 over here. Not in a corner, you're not really going to stumble across it, just all the way on the edge, so it's not near the other targets at all, but yeah. He only plays the quality games. Alright, this level is aptly named, but the only thing that made this level tricky for a lot of, beginners is that you don't know when it says every other time where you're starting at. You don't really know where 1 is. After that, we will go every other time, except when we have to go from 4 to 5. But that's why they start you, I think, by the 5, so you kind of know. Alright, in the lower left is where the 5 is, but not knowing exactly which direction you're going at first, nor, where the 1 might be. Kind of unfair game design. I personally find the controls of this game give it the most replayability, because everything that you're trying to do is just, from a speedrun perspective, is where the replayability is. I don't think a casual gamer is going to be like, alright, cool, I solved all these puzzles, I can't wait to do exactly the same puzzles again. But for us, and what we care about, like, it's all about movement and whatnot. This game almost feels like a racing game, where you're not, like, saving frames because of, like, exact pixel perfect moves and whatnot. It's always going to be imperfect, and it's more of a, can I manage it, can I approach it with a faster line, is there a strategy that reduces variance there? Like, it's more of a racing game in that aspect, that you're never going to get a perfect time. How do you get the best one attainable for you in that moment, though? Alright, so lots of ice in this level here. We're just going to try and hopefully nail all of our turnarounds in every single one of these corners. This one's shaped like a big giant plus, like the Switzerland flag, right? Alright, there we go. Put that before, and then go back up here for 5, but it's up here in this corner. Now, one thing that you'll notice me try to do, especially on the last targets, is where there's real time to be saved, is with your last tomato throw. Because there is a range, right? Like, you could throw it, and if you throw a whole lot of them, the range gets reduced. But if you throw just one, it can go pretty far. And what you're trying to do, effectively, you have to wait for that key animation to pop up every time. That's when you're able to grab it finally and get out of the level. So what you really want to do is be able to shoot that target as fast as possible. Like, once it enters your range, take it. That can be tricky on ice, that can be tricky on tough movement there, but we're not even going to shoot targets in this level. We're going to go the wrong way, we're going to go over here, and we're going to go find another shortcut. There we go. And like I said, we're going to skip ahead all the way up to 9-1. Or, sorry, 8-5. Let's think it's 9-1, but these two levels are fun first. I don't want to miss those. Alright. So, like I said before, some slogans here. Tiptoe? I try to fly through it. But there is definitely some danger. We got these little pachinko bumpers, like I said. They got some real awkward-sized hitboxes. We did get banana cannoned. We've all been there. Always a pain when that happens, right? Well, we just missed that target. I know it looked like he had plenty of room there, and yes, from a pixel standpoint, plenty of room. From a hitbox standpoint, absolutely not. Alright, there we go. Pretty decent tiptoe, we'll take that. Oh, it is exactly playing Micro Machines first time. There was a point in time where, like, half of my speedrun resume was just top-down driving games. Between Micro Machines, Super Off-Road, Super Sprint, those are all games that I've run before, and Funhouse fits that category, even though it definitely wouldn't seem that way at first glance. Alright, so Escargot, this is one of these levels that can just kill a run when you're, not like literally a killer run, but just like, okay, this is where I'm going to do a lot of my resets if I'm doing any % grinding. If you just miss one of these targets when you're riding with the skate, you're going full speed, you have like no range whatsoever with your tomato, you have to be like perfectly on top, and you have just, you know, a few frames effectively to throw the tomato and still hit the target before you're, you know, long past it. Like that one. I even threw it and it didn't go anywhere. Alright. Grab this one on the way out. And take out the 6. Yeah, and like this is not great, but the initial skating around there wasn't so bad because I still had to wait for the key animation to happen, but yeah, a couple extra bounces after that. The skates and the ice physics are not great friends. Yeah, for sure. RC Pro-Am, also have that one done. And some Monster Truck Rally later today. That's the other George Sanger game I'll be running later, by the way. I don't know if anyone's even bothered to play that. That's one of the fantastic Chardcore 20 games. Or Chardcore 12 or whatever it was back in the day. That was the game that I had as a kid, and then I was like, alright, let me look into this here, and it was like the same handful of people that were on that where they were in some other great games. And I know he's an incredible library of knowledge and huge asset to the NES community, so I'm glad that she was able to share that one to the world there. Alright, so this level is one of the trickiest for a casual player because you seemingly want to hit them all in order, but there's one up here that's much easier to get. If you hit this one first, that means you have to try to grab the key from target 7. But if you save that one for last, it's way, way easier. So they save you this unnumbered one, which is just like so much easier to try and grab that against the current than around all those pachinko bumpers and banana cannons. So yeah. This is Funhouse. It is a very loosely based game from the Fox Kids game shows from the early 90s. We're going to save that one and hit it on the diagonal back here. Keep our speed going, and hopefully, yep, didn't get blobbed or cannoned. Very nice. So this one's called Chess. It's built roughly like a chessboard. With 16 targets here we'll take out, which does not add up to the amount of pieces on the chessboard. I just wanted to say. Also, no one would ever have a layout like this. They would, but more checkers than chess. But I guess you know, like I said, they've taken plenty of worse liberties than that. All right, so 9-3. This level is an absolute gigantic maze. So it'll be really easy to us because there's only 3 targets, and we know exactly where they are already. We're just gonna take them out real easy. We got 1, 2, and that banana cannon sends us down. Well, if we get lined up on the ice better. Right to the target number 3. One of the fastest levels in the run, and it's all the way up here in like 9-3, so. Whew. Oh yeah, it does look like Tim the Tool Man, but it is not, it is J.D. Roth. Alright. This level is one of the longest levels in the run, and like I said before, the just kind of slogan, "Somebody please give me a map," could be used as a title to most of these levels. But the trick to this one is go all the way around the longest hallway, all the way back here, seemingly in the furthest corners of the maze, to find target 1 and a skate. So you need to get that before you do anything else. You need target 1. Otherwise, you won't be able to shoot target 2, because it won't be allowed for you to shoot there yet. You try to shoot them out of order. So we'll take target 2, and then we got a couple of unnumbereds in here. And the skate on ice, what a great combination. I joke about the skate on ice being miserable. It is what we try to do the majority of the last level with, just so that we have enough time, so. Alright, and then they try to fool you by putting that one there, think that you want to go in there next, but you actually need to hit the 3, because there's a 4 in here. I'm just trying to avoid the clock. There we go. I'm actually going to intentionally get a clock later here in this level, which feels wrong because there's still 64 seconds left in our timer. We shouldn't need it, but it actually provides us a neat little mechanic here in a second. So we got to go against the current here to number 5. I kind of want to be lined up here so I can get a good bounce, but didn't get it. We're going to get the clock, though, because, as you can see, it's not covered by the conveyor, so when you run over it there, you get almost 2 seconds saved just by running across it. And then, good snipe, but not necessary. But we won't use 2 seconds of time to do the countdown timer here, so it's an okay sacrifice there to add that to your timer. I don't know. He wasn't Tim the Toolman yet in 90, right? Like, that wasn't for a little bit later? A few more years? Alright, we'll take this shortcut, and then we'll start getting to the fun ones. So, we're now starting 12-1. This is what the hardest levels that High-Tech Expressions had to offer us. And you'll see this one's very similar to Velodrome, but way more difficult. We got a lot more targets to manage here, and we're actually going to be utilizing the skate to go with and against the current. So the current on the inside, you can see there, is going against us, while the current on the outside there is... Well, the current on the outside is going clockwise, while the current on the inside is going counterclockwise. So it's almost like a highway beltway system, right? I guess a left side driving one, I would imagine, right? There we go, we'll take that 4 out. And we'll get 5, the unnumbereds, and this skate. And the skate budgeting here is actually really important because they don't stack. You don't go double fast, and it doesn't add to your time. It just resets the skate timer effectively. So, like getting this skate here while I still have a skate just kind of resets the time to the max skate time or whenever you first get one. It doesn't like... If you get it for 10 seconds, it's not like if you get 2 really quickly, you now have 20 seconds of skating. You just got 10 seconds since your last one picked up. So we're going as fast as we can to try and make it back to this skate by 8. And as you can see, it does expire before we get there. We want to just minimize the amount of time that we are without a skate. And then this target's so hard to shoot. It's tough. You gotta... we had to go for it, right? There's 45 seconds left before death. So let's just see if we can do it at full speed. But like I said, skates and tomatoes don't give us a lot of range. That's okay. Oh, I was unaware of that. I did not know the dark history of Tim Allen. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Family-friendly Smash TV. Oh, we got it lit up there. That's not so family-friendly. Actually, this might be tough. We'll see if we can save this one. Because each of those little pellets does 3 seconds off of our clock. So... as much as we try to thread the needle through there, it does come with some risk. As you can see, our timer's down at 16 seconds, and we got a lot of real estate to cover. Every target you hit adds a couple seconds on there, but, you know, these long runs in between them, not so good. I didn't go for the aggressive sneak through there. You can happen to sneak through both those cannons to get to this one, but it can be really brutal. Oh, we just got shot a couple more times. It'll be close. All right, we got it. I like to hit that right target there first before that left one as well, so that way if the cannon is not being friendly to us, at least we have the easier key to grab. If you shoot the left one first, and you have to try and time it to run and grab the key between all the bananas. Alright, one of the most punishing levels of the run, just pretty short, but has not very many targets to add time, a lot of ice physics, and then our favorite thing that we mentioned earlier, the pachinko bumpers. They're going to be here and trying to guard these little hallways, not this one, we'll go there last. You can shoot them enough times to get through, but like I said, ice physics plus those banana cannons there can really punish you there. This is going way better than... Wow, that was way better than expectation. I think my personal best ever is ending that with like a 28 on the in-game timer, so a 27 in a marathon run's pretty awesome. Alright. There's a couple more mazes here, and then we'll get to the brutal gauntlet at the end. So Alcatraz, just kind of follow the path here, and all these little things are on their own little islands, I guess. I don't know, is that why they call it Alcatraz? I have no idea. Not quite sure, but is this exactly geographically to scale the same shape as Alcatraz? I'm not quite sure. I'm pretty sure it was just in the hat of generic names they could name the level, and this is where they decided to put Alcatraz 012-4. We did not want to get shot down there. We gotta fight this current here. And you end up down here and you shoot target 1. If you shoot this target first, I don't even know if it's mathematically possible to beat the level. If you go all the way out there and then you have to go back to that hallway across the current. Just punishing mechanics. Also very strange to have just one numbered target. Sean Connery's fingerprints are all over all the NES games, right? All the Jeopardies as well. Alright. This level here is pretty tough to screw up as long as you grab enough of the extra clock resources. You just don't want to get shot by those pellet guns. They're called glop guns, actually, in this game. That is the Funhouse lore. But we'll go take out all the even-numbered targets over here, and the odd-numbered targets over there, and just navigate the ice physics around the turreted glop guns here, as we can see. I'm trying to take 3 seconds off our timer every single time they shoot us. Hopefully that is very minimal. They do happen to always travel in the clockwise pattern like that when they spawn on the screen, so you can kind of abuse that to your advantage by making sure that you're approaching them from the top effectively when they're when you're going left to right, and then try to approach them from the bottom when you're going right to left. But when they spread them out here, there is a little bit of risk to be taken just in the sake of saving a few frames and going a shorter movement route. So this way, take out the 6. We got 37 seconds to make it to the other side, and every pellet shot takes away 3 of them, so hopefully we don't any of those guys. This little banana cannon's a lot less harmful. There we go. And we're on to the last level of the game. I would love to see Sean Connery at RGL. Alright, so Ultimate Commuter here. We've got same sort of sequencing where we have all the odd targets over here. We really need this skate. We actually have to go get this now, because the top hallway goes left to right, and the bottom hallway goes right to left. But we need to get this too, and then immediately get back up here to the top. So the skate lets us go against the current very, very fast. If we didn't have that skate, then we would have to go on the bottom route, and it would be way more punishing. And then here's the new tech I was talking about. There's a secret skate right down here that you can use. Go get 4 much faster than you could at regular speed, even though we're going against the current here. We just have to avoid the skate here and save that for later. Take that one, good, up, up, up. Oh, we didn't want that one. That's not so good. There we go. We gotta save that one back there in just a little bit. We'll take 5 and do a U-turn and hopefully make it back before that skate expires. Gonna be cutting it close. Oh yeah, just in time. That could have been brutal. Take out the 6. Whoop. Bust the Yui there. And then we'll do this back up here to 7. And this is one of the trickier parts. It's going through all these pachinko bumpers while you have a skate on ice. We no longer have our skate, but that's fine. We're with the current here. We're going to shoot the 8, grab the last skate, and then go get 9, which is in a really tough position to grab when you're rocking the skate on ice, but, you know, we're supposed to be good at this. So let's see if we can snipe it. Yep, there we go. And time. 27:58. That's pretty good. I'll take that. And that's Funhouse. And you get to see the little cutscene here of us going through the entire obstacle course. And by that, I just mean the, you know, animated sprite of our character standing at various stations of the obstacle course. And then you get to see a couple more scenes here. Yeah, look at that. All right, dude. And you got some Funhouse cheerleaders here. Nice change from orange to yellow and white multiple times. And then you get to see, like I said, the 6 people responsible for making this game. Actually, 5 people. Or 4 people, I guess. But yeah, George Sanger. The best. The best there is. I know it's only 5 people. I guess Ironwind Software. They could be a huge team of people. Maybe this was a AAA title back then. I wasn't really paying attention to the video game development market back then. I'm not quite sure how Funhouse's release was announced, but yeah, not a whole lot of people on the team, but the music definitely slaps. George Sanger, The Fat Man, another great hit. So we'll be back in a bit here. We got G.I. Joe coming up, but that is Funhouse. And thanks so much for watching, guys. And stick around if you want to see some more ridiculous NES stuff. Appreciate y'all.